Have you ever wondered why a simple flight after 65 can suddenly feel like you're walking through a maze of invisible rules, surprise inspections, and awkward stops that younger travelers seem to glide right past without a problem? It starts the moment you book the ticket, long before you even pack your bag, because travel after retirement isn't just about choosing a destination anymore. It's about navigating a system that quietly changed while you were busy living your life, raising families, working careers, and finally earning the freedom to explore the world. And now airports move faster, scanners are smarter, and small habits that once meant nothing can now trigger alarms, side searches, and stressful delays. Like wearing a belt with a heavy buckle that looks harmless to you but flashes bright on the screen, or carrying a water bottle you forgot to empty because 20 years ago it was perfectly fine. And suddenly, a TSA officer is pulling your bag aside while people behind you sigh and stare, making you feel like you've done something wrong when really you're just traveling the way you always have. And then there's the shoes. Oh, the shoes. Comfortable walking shoes with thick soles or hidden metal supports that feel great for sore knees, but confuse the scanners every single time, forcing you to step aside, take them off slowly, balance on one foot while trying not to fall, all while the line moves on without you. And it doesn't stop there, because many seniors pack medication in pill organizers without the original labels, which feels organized and smart but can raise questions during inspections, especially when liquids are involved. And yes, those little travel-sized bottles of shampoo or lotion that accidentally go over the limit because the new rules are stricter than ever. And before you know it, your carry-on is being searched piece by piece, making you nervous even though you've done nothing wrong. And then comes the clothing. Layered outfits to stay warm on cold flights that end up confusing body scanners, showing anomalies that require a pat, something many older travelers find uncomfortable or embarrassing. But it happens all the time now. And what about electronics? The days of keeping everything in one bag are gone, because now laptops, tablets, even some medical devices need to come out separately. And seniors who aren't used to unpacking their bags at lightning speed often hold up the line, attracting attention and sometimes extra screening just because they're slower. And slower doesn't mean suspicious, but in busy airports, it often gets treated that way. And let's talk about food. Bringing homemade snacks like sandwiches, fruit, or soups in thermos containers that used to be normal now gets flagged, especially liquids and spreads that fall under the gel category, something most people over 65 never think about. And then there's forgetting to remove items from pockets. Coins, tissues, keys, even hearing aid cases can set off alarms, leading to another scan, another pause, another look from security, and the stress builds because every stop makes you worry you're about to miss your flight. And that stress alone can make you forget simple instructions like stepping forward, raising your arms, or placing bags in the right bins, which again draws attention and sometimes more screening. And then there's travel documents, holding onto paper boarding passes instead of mobile ones, fumbling through purses or wallets, trying to find ID, while others breeze through with phones in hand, causing delays that seem small but can lead to agents redirecting you to slower lines or manual checks. And while none of these things are illegal or wrong, together they create a pattern that gets older travelers stopped far more often than they expect. And many seniors don't realize that wearing certain medical braces, pacemakers, or metal implants can trigger scanners, which means they should quietly notify officers beforehand to avoid repeated scans. But nobody tells you this when you book your ticket. So you only learn after an awkward moment in front of strangers. And then there's the carry-on itself. Overpacked bags stuffed with souvenirs, books, snacks, extra clothes, just in case, which makes it harder for scanners to see clearly through the clutter, increasing the chance something gets flagged, even if it's harmless. And airports now use advanced imaging that picks up organic materials differently. So things like dense food, powders, or thick fabrics can look suspicious on screens. And seniors who love to bring gifts like candles, coffee, or powdered supplements often get stopped because of how these items appear. And let's not forget walking aids, canes, walkers, and even some types of orthopedic shoes that must be screened separately, which many seniors don't realize, causing confusion at checkpoints and extra inspection time. And the frustration grows because you feel targeted when really it's just the system reacting to items and habits it wasn't designed for decades ago. And then there's timing mistakes. arriving too close to departure because you remember when security took 10 minutes, not an hour, leading to rushed behavior that looks suspicious to cameras trained to notice stress and fast movements. Yes, modern airports use behavior detection technology that flags people who appear nervous or hurried, which can result in additional screening. And while that sounds like something out of a movie, it's very real. And seniors unfamiliar with these changes are more likely to trigger it simply by being overwhelmed. And there's also the mistake of joking with security, saying things like, "Hope there's no bomb in there," or "Don't arrest me," which may have gotten laughs years ago, but now can result in serious delays because agents must treat all comments seriously. And another common issue is not following new liquid rules for medical needs properly. Because while medications are allowed in larger amounts, they should be declared. And many seniors don't know this, so they pack them quietly and then get stopped when scanners see them. And then there's forgetting to remove jackets, scarves, or hats when asked, especially in colder airports, which triggers alarms and more checks. And what about boarding group confusion, standing in the wrong line, blocking pathways? Or stepping forward too early can draw attention from staff and sometimes lead to manual checks of tickets and bags, slowing everything down. And then there's currency. Carrying large amounts of cash for trips, something many older travelers prefer for safety. But large sums can trigger questions and even additional screening depending on destination. And seniors are often surprised by this because it never used to be an issue. And another big mistake is not using TSA PreCheck or similar programs designed to speed up screening. Many eligible seniors don't enroll because they think it's complicated or unnecessary, when in reality, it can save stress and time. And then there's the simple habit of wearing jewelry. Heavy necklaces, bracelets, rings, watches, sentimental pieces you never take off. But now every piece adds up on scanners and can cause alarms, leading to more inspections. And when all these little things stack together, it creates the perfect storm for being stopped again and again, making travel feel harder instead of enjoyable. And the worst part is, many seniors start to believe they're doing something wrong, when really, they're just using habits from a different travel era. And airports quietly evolved without clearly explaining these changes to older generations. And that's why so many people over 65 feel targeted when flying, when the truth is, they're just caught between old habits and new systems. And the good news is, once you understand these mistakes, you can avoid most of the stress. Because simple changes like wearing slip-on shoes with thin soles, packing liquids correctly, keeping medications labeled, removing metal items early, organizing electronics for quick access, arriving earlier than you think you need to, and calmly telling officers about medical devices can dramatically reduce stops. And using programs like TSA PreCheck can feel like stepping back into the easy travel days where you keep shoes on and move faster. And packing lighter with fewer dense items helps scanners see clearly, reducing false alarms. And choosing clothing with fewer layers and less metal makes body scans smoother. And keeping documents ready in an easy access pocket speeds everything up, and avoiding jokes, staying calm, and following instructions slowly but confidently helps you blend into the flow instead of standing out. And most importantly, remembering that security isn't personal, it's procedural, can lower stress, which itself lowers the chance of extra screening. And travel after 65 should be about freedom, adventure, and finally seeing the places you dreamed of. Not about being stuck at checkpoints, feeling embarrassed or rushed. And once you adjust to the new airport reality, you'll find flying can still be smooth, enjoyable, and even exciting again, just with a few modern habits added to your routine. And if you're part of the Golden Age travel tips community, or just discovering smarter ways to travel in retirement, the biggest takeaway is that knowledge is your boarding pass to stress-free trips. Because the more you understand these hidden mistakes, the easier every journey becomes. So next time you head to the airport, remember to pack smart. Dress simple, arrive early, stay calm, and use the tools designed to help you move faster. And you'll notice a huge difference right away. And here's my final suggestion for every senior traveler watching. Before your next flight, make a quick checklist of modern airport rules. Sign up for fast-track security if you can, and do a practice pack the night before to remove liquids, metal, and clutter. Those small steps can turn frustrating travel days into smooth, enjoyable adventures once again.